All right, let's start slow. Try to jump over to that next island. Also, the longer you charge your wings before jumping, the further you'll go. Hey, you didn't fuck it up. Good job. Now get up that cliff. Don't worry, if something looks too high, just keep on jumping off the wall. Remember to charge your jumps if you want to get up the cliff faster. Now it's time to fly. You heard of crawling before walking? Well, in this case, you need to jump before you can fly. Launch yourself in the air with a jump, and then hold your wings out to glide to that next island. I put out some orbs to show you'll have to dive to reach the next island. Do that by pointing your head down. Don't worry, the rest of your body will follow. I put a shiny flap orb out in front of you. Collect the orb, and your wings will flap to gain speed. Missed the orb, dude. All right, now try flapping those wings on your own. Do a flap on your way to the next island. Woo! The exact opposite of diving is climbing. Climbing will slow you down and eventually cause you to stall. And trust me, stalling sucks. You can flap while gliding to gain additional speed. So the faster you're going, the higher you can fly. Now try to reach the island up there. All right, time to take the training wheels off for the final lesson. Flying takes stamina. If you run out in midair, you are going to drop like a rock. A stupid, stamina-less rock. Last island is right under those lava falls. Notice how your stamina drains the longer you glide. Let's get you back to the Ultor building. I want to run through all the stuff you can do to hurt Satan.
Sure thing. See you soon.
Here's the deal. If you want some FaceTime with Satan, you need to get his attention. Now, Satan hates being challenged, so anything you do to undermine his control is good. Fraud, mayhem, shooting demons in the face, anything. You can keep track of Satan's wrath with this handy meter. Get it high enough and you'll be having drinks with Big Red in no time. I've compiled a list of shit to do, so take a look and do whatever sounds fun. Oh, one more thing. We have some potential allies down here. Trust me, you want to impress them.
Maybe one day I'll retire and have a view like this. Well, preferably not in hell, but hey, let's be realistic. Something ridiculous, like 100 of these to find. Fucking collectibles.
Abandoned ship! We've been boarded! Get these damn things off my ship!
You really didn't have a chance.
One more for the collection.
I got a bit of treasure in that chest over there. The weapon you find inside may help with our little imp problem.
Ooh.
That is a freakishly large hammer. Starting to feel sociopathic.
I summoned these imps to serve as my crew. I forgot what a handful they could be. Once aboard, they wouldn't listen to their captain. They ran amok in the bowels of the ship.
That all you got?
No, not another one of these.
Good God, they're thwarting me!
It's okay to drop the pirate voice.
What pirate voice would that be?
Wow.
Zinyak's destruction of Earth had a profound impact on the afterlife. To heaven, it was a logistical nightmare. St. Peter's meticulous nature drove purgatory wait times to unbearable levels. Meanwhile, in hell, where souls in pain were used as currency, It created a new era of prosperity for the wickedly enterprising. This economic boon resulted in the coffers of hell to be overflowing, which in turn piqued the interest of the most notorious man that sailed the seven seas. Long had Blackbeard been a thorn in Satan's side, robbing tax collectors on a semi-regular basis. But the promise of an immeasurable fortune drove him to be even bolder. An arrangement was reached. Blackbeard would provide information on strategic targets in exchange for a share of the profit. Johnny, who was interested in murder, not money, happily agreed.
I grant ye the ability to summon my crew whenever they're needed. Thanks for helping me deal with the crew. The Barrens is the perfect staging grounds. All right, matey. It's time for your lesson. Let's summon me favorite scurvy rival hellion, the Imp. Why don't you start off by summoning an imp to take out those enemies? There you go, mate. Now take down the other ankle biters are vicious. Now let's practice your aim. Take down the demons on the islands. As rewarding as pressing someone into service, am I right? Now get going! There's a whole wide world waiting to be plundered.
Men like Blackbeard are the best to work with. You always know what they're looking for.
I raided a Sinterpol office and found information on where the President is being kept. Evidently, they've been trapped in some sort of soul crystal inside Satan's palace. Breaking in is an impossibility. The best bet to save them is to continue to try to draw Satan out of his palace.
I will fucking end you.
Note to self. Find a way to control...
Lights up. William Shakespeare, humanity's greatest playwright, and hell's most diabolical purveyor of entertainment, looks on as a brave mortal on an Orphean quest enters. The bard's interest is piqued, and he looks to test his visitor's mettle. The masked tragedies were used to enemies cowering as they approached. But soon they realized that they faced a foe with courage and nobility, traits uncommon in the fires of perdition. exciting incident resolved, the time had come for rising action! The battle raged on below, and as bullets and blood flew, the bard arched a curious eyebrow. Could this mortal be the exact thing that Shakespeare needed?
This battle is far from over, mortal. Arise!
And now, Act 3! The conflict resolved, Shakespeare eagerly awaited meeting the champion that dispatched so many of his men. Undoubtedly, they were here for the bard's aid, and while happy endings were not a thing found in hell, Shakespeare always had a soft spot for comedies.
In the land of the living, William Shakespeare is regarded as one of the most prolific playwrights of all time. However, to the denizens of hell, the bard is seen in a far different light. After selling his soul for fame and adoration, Shakespeare served in hell as Satan's spy master general. In doing his duty, Shakespeare would punish the souls he was investigating by forcing them to perform in grotesque passion plays for Satan's amusement. But in a Twelfth Night-esque twist, Shakespeare found himself living a double life. While he projected an image of cruelty, his heart was as soft as Jezebel's. In secret, he would tutor her on the classics and act out the works of his mortal days. When Satan found out, he cast Shakespeare out of the palace, believing that the poet would be tormented by the populace of hell, far out of Jezebel's sight. But Satan had not counted on the bard's cunning. Embracing his persona of master torturer, Shakespeare and his followers, the tragedies, took root in the entertainment district, biding their time for revenge.
So Shakespeare called forth the Deus Ex Machina to bestow our protagonist with the arcane power of force. Lights up. The mortal stands in the training grounds, to try out his Force Stomp power on the group of demons in front of them. Act 1, Scene 2, in which our protagonist kills more in Act 2, in which our protagonist is greeted by foul imps. In which our protagonist learns that Force Stomp even works on flying enemies, enabling them to remove a Dark Inciter's shield before shooting them to death with bullets. There is also a mistaken identity and love unrequited. The day is won, and the curtain closes on our noble hero.
I'm not into Shakespeare's whole creepy mask thing. Reminds me too much of that sex party I went to.
Mine!